everybody, how's it going? It is a beautiful, beautiful spring day. And what comes with spring? Well, yard work. I got firewood to finish splitting, and I got a couple of spruce trees on one side of my property that are dead, and I'd like to take them down today. And that gives us a good excuse to run my Stihl 044 that has no bar oil in it. I left the cap off. My Stihl 044. This is a special saw to me. This is one of the saws that I've had the longest in my collection. I've done the most work with it probably, and this was my first professional big saw that I actually liked. Before this I had an 038 Magnum. Great saw, but I found that saw to be very heavy for a day of cutting. So once I got this saw and got it running, this saw has been absolutely incredible. Now you guys know the last couple of years I've had some fueling issues with it. I've changed the carb and just puttered around with it, but I think I finally got it fixed with a new carb, crank seals. I replaced my impulse and fuel line. Well, guess what? The minute I did that, now suddenly the saw runs good. So I think I had a combination of maintenance issues. I know, shocking, the Tin Man has maintenance issues on his saws. Worst car in the parking lot's always the mechanics. But anyhow, friends, today's video, I'm just going to drop a couple trees in my tree line, and let's get the 044 back up and running. I'm going to run it today the way I always used to run it, a 24-inch bar, full house chain, and it's bone stock. There's nothing done to this. There's no muffler mod. This is how an 044 runs out of the box. Let's get this thing prepped and drop a couple of trees.
She cuts, eh?
Like I said, I've had issues with this saw the last couple of years, so it's been sitting on the healing shelf, and see what she does today. Just want to get my yard work started, and you know, kind of get the season's events started out. I want these trees on the ground before they fall, because they're dead. I don't know how rotten they are. We're going to find that out when I start going to wedge them. And these trees are behind another row of living trees, so I'm hoping I don't snag these today, but again, anything's possible. So we're just going to let the chips fall where they may, but we're going to do it with this beautiful vintage 044. Okay, I'm just going to loosen off this chain adjuster a bit. So this is the bar that this chain lived most of its life with. 24-inch Stihl ES, a typical bar that probably a lot of you guys would run on your saw like this. I've since changed to longer bars, but this video is just going to be one for old time's sake. Kind of on the fence about what I'm going to do with this saw. It doesn't get as much time as maybe it should. You guys know this is probably, depending on what you're doing, but this is probably one of the best saws Stihl ever made, in my opinion. It's up there, top 3, I would say. The other two Stihls that I really like are the 461. That's a saw I enjoy. The 200T is legendary. There we go. This is just an off-the-shelf chain. It looks and feels nice and sharp, so it's been filed. It's probably about half down. And I'm just going to put some bar oil in this thing. I suspect we're not going to need any fuel, but I'll top this thing up and put a little DGP in here. This is that bar oil I've been running. You guys see. I like the guy that, the man behind this bar oil is a guy I like. He's, I don't know, people just have energy. And, you know, if I can help them out, I will. I love this stuff, though. Never used a bar oil that flows that well in the winter. You guys saw the test, I'm quite sure. If you're around, just gonna grab some fuel. I need to clean this fuel canister off. It rides in the back of my truck, which means it gets really dusty. There you go. This thing even has a broken fuel cap. Okay, let's fire this thing up and see what she's gonna do. I've fired it a couple times since I thought we had it fixed. We'll see what it does today. It seems to be running. I don't know, this thing's still. I'm just gonna get rid of some low jet. I don't know. Let's see what it does. Have to turn it on first. Okay, well, we'll call that good. Again, rapid weather changes here, and often you need to tweak your low jet. And we'll see how this thing runs. If it doesn't run good, we'll talk about it. But okay, said friends, new intake boot, new impulse, fuel line, filter, crank seals, carburetor. I also changed the coil 3 times now. This coil is off of a perfectly running saw, so I don't know. We'll see what it does. I'll meet you guys over at the trees we're doing. Okay, this is what we're dealing with here. We're losing all of our blue spruce trees, unfortunately. And this one's starting to die. I'll probably leave this one this year. Just for, and yeah, there's junk in the yard. It's that time of the year, but I'll probably leave this one for now. And but yeah, this one's dead, this one, and that one, and that one, and that one behind. So these were alive last year before, but yeah, looks like they're done over this winter. So I'm gonna have to replant. We get a lot of wind from this direction. These are like diamond willows here. They grow real nice, but I need a secondary and third layer of protection. So anyhow, I'm going to take all these down today. Wind's blowing in my favor. Wind's blowing this way. So I just want to get these on the ground today, and we can cut them up, and I'll burn these for firewood. They actually make nice firewood, believe it or not. It makes a lot of heat. It's a quick burning firewood though. So, but anyhow, I'm just going to set up here and let's see how this 044 runs. And if she don't run good, we'll grab a second saw. Close this video down. Look at the oil. DGP. I keep mentioning it. Look at the oil. That is dry wood. That sucks oil up. Look at the amount of oil on this bar, and look. It's clean. This stuff wipes right off, okay? It's incredible. Okay, well, there's the mighty 044. That saw was giving me a lot of trouble today. And I'm glad I was just cutting these little sticks here in the yard, but it ran irregular. It was boggy sometimes, ran fine other times. I was having trouble keeping it idling. It's acting air leaky again, friends, so I don't know where else to go. Like I said, I've put intake, impulse, fuel line, carburetor, crank seals. There's nothing left to leak in this. Unless the only thing I can think of, friends, is my case is leaking. I have never had the case apart on this saw. The halves could be leaking. That is a possibility. So maybe I should check my screws that hold my case together. Because again, I've never had this saw in half. It might be time to just go through it and rebuild it and you know, put it into the fleet. It ran okay though, but it could be better. I've put a lot of miles on this saw. This is one of those saws you pulled it over 2 times, it would fire and it would just sit there and idle. It's always been a good oiling saw, which I just showed you guys. And I don't know, like look right now, this thing's still warm. This saw should start, okay? That's not normal. So I also had to retune the saw about 5 times, once per tree. So I don't know. I suspect perhaps my case is leaking. I could tear it down and hook up my vac line or do a vacuum pressure test on just the case perhaps. But I think we definitely have an air leak of some kind. It's slight though. It's not one that you're going to track down easily because again, the saw still runs good. It idles good. But there's definitely something going on with this thing. Anyhow, Reds, that's all for today. I got the timber on the ground and I'll show you guys. Got the timber on the ground and we'll clean that up this week. Anyhow, still 044. She's still a gooder even though she doesn't run that great. Thanks for watching. Take her easy. I'll see you guys in a couple days. Later.